We're going to begin seated, and we're going to do some nice neck rolls to really loosen up. So just rotate your neck around slowly, one direction. You might get some good cracks out of there. Slowly rotate back to front, and then around back. And then we'll switch directions. So roll your neck around the other way in your head. And then pause. And then we'll do some nice shoulder rolls. So go ahead and roll your shoulders up and back in a nice big circle. Up and around, back and down. Up, around, back and down. And then we'll go the other direction. So up to the front and down. Up, front and down. Just really start to get into the little movements of the body. Start to awaken everything up. And then we're going to come on to all fours. And from here we're going to be doing some nice hip circles. So you're going to rotate your shoulders and hips in opposite directions. So go ahead and roll that whole back body up and around. And then we're going to go the other direction. Up and around. This should feel really good. Then we'll come back to neutral. And then come into our first downward facing dog. Go ahead and lift your right leg up, open up the hip, and then we'll do some hip circles. So nice big circles to really warm up the hip joint. So up and around, try to get that knee toward the ceiling. And then we'll go the opposite direction. Should start to feel a nice warming sensation here. Then hold it for a moment before putting your right foot down, and then we'll switch over to the left foot. So bend and open the left hip, and then we'll do nice big circles on this side too. I always get a good crack when I do this. Okay, and then pause, and then we're going to go the other direction. So up and around. Should be feeling pretty warm in the hips now. And then hold open and put your left foot down. Hold it for a moment before making your way to the front of the mat. So we'll inhale flat back. Exhale, forward fold, and then inhale up to rise. And we'll do a nice side stretch. So grab your left wrist with your right hand and stretch over to the right. Inhale to the center, and then exhale to the left. Couple more. Inhale, exhale to the right. Inhale, center, exhale to the left. Inhale, center, over to the right, and then inhale, center, and over to the left. And inhale up to center, and we'll do a few half salutations. So exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. And inhale to rise. We'll do 2 more. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. And inhale up to rise. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. And inhale up to rise. Hands to heart center. Inhale, rise. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. And jump or step your right leg back into a lunge, and then we're going to bend and straighten the front leg. So we're going to bend and straighten, really warming up the hamstrings. Bend and straighten. And straighten. And bend, and then we're going to go ahead and bring the right knee down and come into a crescent moon. So reach your arms up, and you can have your left knee forward a little bit, just so you feel a nice opening in the front of that right hip. Breathe into this, feeling the opening of the front of the body here. Then we'll exhale down, take a chaturanga. Inhale up dog, and exhale back to downward facing dog. We'll hold here. Okay, and step your right foot up, and then your left foot up to meet the right. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale up to rise. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. Go ahead and lunge that left leg back. And then we're going to bend and straighten here. So bend, lift your chest. Exhale, straighten. Inhale, bend. And exhale, straighten. A few more. Bend. Straighten. Bend. And straighten. And then we'll bend and drop the left knee to the ground, lifting your arms up into a low lunge. And really sink into it so you feel that front hip flexor really opening up. Then bring your hands down, and we'll take our vinyasa and meet up in down dog. Then we'll hold this for 5 breaths. Go ahead and bring your left foot up to meet the right at the front of the mat. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale up to rise. And hands to heart center. Inhale, rise. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Jump or step back and take a vinyasa. Inhale and exhale back to down dog. We'll lift our right leg up and really open up that hip. Then we'll step our right foot between our hands, and we're going to come to the side of our mat, so the long way. And we're going to do some nice side lunges. So go as deep as you feel comfortable. You can put your hands on the floor. You can keep your hands in prayer position. You can lift your toe of your foot. That really gets into the hamstrings. Just go side to side. And then we'll pause in the middle and come into a goddess. So we'll have our toes out, heels in, sink the hips down, and then we'll lift into star. So exhale, inhale, rise. Exhale, sink, and inhale, rise. Exhale, sink, and we're going to hold this. Try to sink your hips a little bit lower, have strong arms. And then go ahead and stand up into Warrior 2. And then we'll take a vinyasa. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, back to downward facing dog. Go ahead and lift your left leg up, bend and open your hip. And step through to the opposite side of our mat. And we're going to do side lunges over here on this side too. So whatever variation works for your body, you can have your hands off the ground or on. You might want to bring your foot up so you really feel it in the hamstring. To get as deep as you like. And then go ahead and pause. Then we're going to bring our toes in, heels out a little bit, and do a side twist toward the left leg. Then we'll lift up to the right leg and twist. And back to the left leg. You might want to lift your left arm. And back over to the right leg. And one more. Left leg. And then the right leg. Then come back to center. And go ahead and bend your elbows like you're in chaturanga. And reach your head down toward the floor. Then inhale, flat back. Come up to rise and warrior 2. Then we'll go ahead and take our vinyasa. So chaturanga, exhale. Inhale, up dog, and then back to down dog. Go ahead and make your way to the front of the mat, jumper step. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold, and inhale, rise. Hands to heart center. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Jumper step back and take your vinyasa, and we'll meet in down dog. Go ahead and lift your right leg up, bend and open your hip. You could stay here, or you can flip on over to Wild Thing. If you're doing that, keep your left leg straight, right knee bent, and bring your right arm up over your head and arch your chest up to the sky. Then we'll flip around and try to get that right foot between the hands and come into Warrior 2. From here, we're going to come into a side angle and then back to warrior two, and then reverse. And we're going to move this a few times. So whatever variation of side angle you'd prefer, you can put your hand on the floor. You can keep your elbow on your knee. So we'll exhale, side angle, inhale, warrior two, exhale, crescent. So back and forth. Then we're going to hold our side angle. You might want to take a bind here. We'll be here for a few more breaths. And then release back to warrior two. And we'll take our vinyasa. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Jumper step to the front of the mat. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Then we'll exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, jumper step back. Inhale, up dog, and exhale, back to down dog. Then we'll lift our left leg up, bend and open the hip. You can stay here or take wild thing on this side. Straighten the right leg, really reach up over your head and your chest toward the ceiling. And then we'll flip around and try to get that left foot up to the front of the mat into warrior two. And we'll go ahead and move this from side angle up to warrior two and then back to crescent, or excuse me, back to reverse warrior. So side angle, reverse, side angle, and reverse, side angle, and reverse. And we'll come into our side angle and hold. So you can take your bind if you like, or whatever modification would work for you. If you're binding or in any modification, try to really turn your chest open to the side. You don't want to collapse down here. And then back up to warrior two, and then we'll take our vinyasa. Back to down dog. We'll jumper step to the front of the mat. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms to rise, and hands to heart center. Inhale, rise. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Jumper step back to chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. And back to down dog. And from here, we're going to come onto our knees and we're going to take a few back bends in camel. So go ahead and have your feet either flat or you can have your toes tucked under and put your hands on your sacrum. Just start to lift your chest and really open up. And you can stay there, or if you can reach your ankles or your heels, go ahead and reach back for those. And really reach up to the sky and get a nice back bend here. Keeping your toes tucked will make it a little bit more accessible. And then slowly reach up and then bring your head up last. And then between these, we're going to tuck our toes. And if you can, sit back on your heels. This will give us a nice toe and the bottom of the foot stretch in between our camels. Okay, then go ahead and come back up. We're going to do a second camel. Maybe your feet can be flat on this one. Let's go ahead and lift up. Reach up as high as you can before you lean back. And if you're able to, go ahead and reach for those heels. Maybe you can reach towards your knees, get a little further into it. Just listen to your body in these. And slowly come up, heads last. Then we'll do a second toe stretch here. So this is uncomfortable for most people because our feet are pretty tight and we don't stretch our feet very often. So this is an excellent stretch, especially if you wear, high heels or tight shoes. And this really activates all the meridians, the energy lines that run through the bottom of the feet. Okay, let's come up for our third and final camel. So go ahead and lift up, 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 and then back. And reach for the sky. Okay, inhale, slowly back up, and one more toe stretch, if you can. Go ahead and sit back on those heels. A block might be handy for this pose if it's a little too intense for you, but try to breathe through the sensation because it is a really excellent stretch. All right, go ahead and come out and tap those feet. That should feel really good to you right now. And we're going to swing around and do a nice hip opener called square. So we're going to have our left shin in front of the right, and it's going to be more square, so don't have your feet in. Try to have your shins parallel with the front of the mat. And then go ahead and lean forward if you're able to. If you're very flexible, you can stack your left shin on top of your right, but just make sure your knees are feeling okay and there's not too big of a gap because this can be intense on the knees if you're not open enough. And if you have a blanket or a block, you can always sit on that to help you lean forward in these forward hip openers. So you should feel a nice sensation in the outer hips. And just try to soften where you can. And then slowly walk yourself up, and then we're going to switch sides. So your right shin will be in front or on top. And then if you can, go ahead and lean forward. Just feel that nice opening. This is also called fire log. So if your shins are actually stacked, it looks more like a fire log. But you need to have pretty open hips to do that. Okay, go ahead and inhale up. And then we're going to come into a stretch. It's your right leg forward in straight, your left knee bent, your left foot into your groin. Then we'll inhale up and then fold over that right leg. So you'll be a little bit twisted toward that right leg here. So this is a nice hamstring stretch, low back, and your left hip. And you can, if you can, reach your foot. If not, you can certainly have your hands on the floor or any part of your leg that reaches. The goal is not to get your head to your leg. It's to feel the stretch. Okay, we'll inhale back up, and then we'll bring the left foot over the right so you can come into a nice twist. So go ahead and lift your right arm up and then twist over towards your left with your left hand behind you. If you can hook that elbow on the outside of the knee, or if you'd prefer to wrap it around, that might be more comfortable. And just go ahead and inhale up and rotate on the exhale. Okay, we're going to come back to center, do one counter twist before switching sides. So our left leg straight, right leg bent. Inhale up, and then exhale, forward fold. And this side might feel much different than the other, and that's perfectly normal. So don't judge your body, just accept it and learn more about it every time you practice yoga. And try to ease into it. Then inhale up, and then we're going to take our twist on this side. So right foot over your left. Your left elbow will wrap around or hook on the outside of your knee. You can have your hand up or your arm down, whatever is comfortable. Just remember to lift and twist. So lift on the inhale and twist on the exhale. And inhale back to center, do a counter twist, and then straighten the legs. We'll make our way back to the ground here and another twist. So lean over to the left, and if you can, reach that right leg straight out in front of you and grab your foot. And if you can, bend your right knee and grab that foot with the right hand. Now, if you can't reach, that's fine. You can just put your foot out in front of you as much as you can. You might like to have a strap here. This is an excellent stretch for the IT band on that right leg. And then your chest will be open. So you're getting a nice twist, IT band stretch, and then a quad stretch for that left leg. This is called cat catching its tail. It's one of my favorite twists. And then exhale back to center. And then we'll switch sides after we roll our spine for a moment. Okay, now go ahead and twist with your left leg over and your right leg bent. So try to grab that left leg with your right hand and your right leg with your left hand. Open up to the ceiling. Just feel that nice opening. Okay, inhale back to center, and then bring your knees into your chest and give yourself a little rock before happy baby. So go ahead and grab the outsides of your feet. You can hold or rock back and forth. And then it's time for Savasana. So stretch out in your most comfortable position. Or you can take a seated meditation if you would prefer. We won't be here too long. Just another minute or two. Just let everything you've done go. Nothing left to do. Start to bring your awareness back into your body. Start to make small movements. When you're ready, bring your knees into your chest and lay over to one side, resting your head on your arm. Taking your time, go ahead and make your way up to a comfortable seated position, keeping your eyes closed. Let's bring our hands to heart center and bow our head in gratitude. Namaste.